I actually seen people do, and I've had people do this to me. They've landed a punch on me and knocked me back, and then just stood here. I'm like, okay, you got one punch on me. You haven't followed up.
Yeah.
It's my go.
With what people do in sort of classical traditional martial arts, it's like they don't train to chain. You know, they kind of they do one thing, and then if once in a blue moon it actually works, they're so surprised that that's the end. They've got to be able to move on, and again, we all suffer from it a little bit. You need to learn the continuity and the threading into one.
Yeah,
it's all in there in the classics.
Yeah. It's an arm out, and then they go boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Well, it's like, no one's ever going to let you do that.
Anyone?
What?
Anyone?
Well,
that Tai Chi guy did.
Yeah. If they've been brainwashed, or if they've got some kind of weird fetish for getting punched, then maybe. Okay.
I think one big thing is that people train, but they can't.
Hold on, are you filming now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
It's like the delusional thing, right? Where people they train all the advanced stuff and ignore the basics.
Ignore the basics.
Yeah. So so they get panned by people who are really good at the basics.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed recently as well, somebody had commented on the video that we did of head movement and positioning and distance, and he said this is the kind of stuff you see being practiced in Beijing parks and not inside door level stuff. And I replied, I said, well, I've been to Beijing. I didn't once see anybody doing anything like this in the parks. No practical application, no sparring, nothing that involved fighting at all. So the thing is that when you see a guy on that, like that guy on that video, it's like they're not practicing basics. They're not practicing fight strategy. They're not practicing like what to do if you get hit or how not to get hit. Because all they're doing is like some guy goes like this, and then the other guy comes in and does whatever he wants. Yeah. So the first thing that everybody's got to kind of realise is just stop being fucking delusional. Like, I'm not. If I throw a punch out here and you start to come in at me, I'm going to move. I'm going to do something. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, a fight should only last 3 seconds or something. Well, if you sucker punch someone, or if someone who's drunk on the street, then maybe.
If there's a gross mismatch.
If there's a gross mismatch in skill or physicality, then the fight will be over. But like, let's say we were sparring. I'm not going to beat you in 3 seconds. You're not going to beat me in 3 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Exactly. The basics break down. You've got to become a little bit more conservative, a little more wary, a little bit more clever, and a little bit more basically thoughtful about it. Yeah. And but the basics, if you neglect the basics, then you'll get beat by the guy who will try and do that. So, like, one thing that, and I was also criticised about this a few weeks ago. I get loads of criticism, emails, and on YouTube and stuff, was that they were saying that I was talking too much about position and distance in my videos, and that's not what Xingyi's about. Xingyi's about getting in really, really, really close and then punching people. So I didn't even bother arguing with this guy because my thought process was, okay, you're getting really, really close and start punching them, but I've got to get in close. Yeah. And you don't want me to get in close. So that's where distancing, timing, and position comes in. And another thing that this overwhelming someone, if someone is like, if they haven't got a good guard or they're not ready for an initial onslaught of just pure power, because in fact, when we train 5 elements, we often, the first thing we train people is, we're just going to teach you how to lay down a load of power in a straight line. And against somebody who's not particularly skilled, or either with tactics or physically, then just striking them hard can overwhelm them. So once people have started to learn that, it's like, okay, now we've got 2 guys who can do that. They're just going to butt into each other, and it's going to be whoever can do it the best wins. That's when we've got to start thinking, like, how can I deal with that in a more strategic kind of way? So usually what happens is, like,
like if you're coming at me quite hard and I'm coming at you hard, then I go, oh, I've made a mistake and I've been hit. As a beginner, I might go, oh, and I'll turn away and I'm just going to get hit again and again, and then I start either running away, or you're going to knock me down.
If I see an advantage, I'm going to press it.
Yeah, and that's what we call withering. So do not be greedy, do not wither. So being greedy is like I'm actually trying to overreach.
Yeah.
And then you can exploit that. But in terms of not withering, it's like I didn't really get out of the way of it. You've still got the advantage, but I'm backing away, taking that pressure off me as I'm backing away. But I'm still solid. I haven't turned, I haven't broken my structure, I haven't started running away. So I'm still able to fight back at you. So the first thing is like, I can step away and release pressure when it comes in. But when I do that, I don't want to do that in a way like it hit me again, like boom, like this. Now I've lost. My intent's over here and you're over here, so I can't get.
We've also disengaged.
Yeah, and we've disengaged.
Neither of us have an advantage.
My structure's broken. I'm off balance. I'm moving away, so you've got the momentum.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's like I'm staying pretty solid and straight onto you. Although I'm moving slightly. I'm taking angles so that it's not you're going straight into me. I'm backing off and releasing that pressure. But I'm not compromising.
So what I'm doing is I'm going straight. Yeah. You're going over there. Yeah. Now I'm retargeting. Yeah. Every time I have to retarget. Yeah. Every time it's not quite as easy for me to
I'm switching. Even when I get hit, I'm turning that off slightly. Yeah. But I'm not compromising my structure and my position particularly. The next thing to that would be to start to try and lay back some threat at you. So as you're coming at me, I might have to let this go back. But then I'm going to put a hand into your path to try and close down the angles that are available to you. Because if you just try and go straight forward, you're going to walk into it. Yeah. So you're going to have to like change to somewhere else. And then so you shifted
I have to do something.
So I have to make you. I'm trying to do something to make you work harder.
Totally. Yeah.
So. Sometimes I describe this as leading and following. So when we're like here, like we're 50-50.
Yeah.
As soon as you make me move and you've got a bit of momentum, you're in front. So you're leading, and I'm kind of following now. I'm following what you're doing, but it's my job now to try and put some kind of threat or pressure onto you as you keep coming to make it that we're becoming more and more equal. And then past that point of being equal to the point where I'm putting the threat and the pressure back onto you. Yeah. And that can change. And that's all about position and timing and distance. Chicken.
To get an angle, use footwork. Step off. Yeah. Still nothing in. kicking.
I did the kick.
It's alright, I've had to resist the temptation.
I was going to mention the fact when I turned and lifted my leg a bit like this, and I kind of stumbled back and I got back on. The thing was, I knew that I'd messed up. I knew that I fucked up, and immediately I thought, I shouldn't have done that. I need to do better next time.
And I immediately thought, shit, I missed that chance.
You missed that opportunity
to flatten you.
to flatten.
But the thing is, one of the things is if you don't want someone to steamroll over you, you have to make them think they can't.
Yeah.
As soon as they think they can, they will, and they'll just steamroll over you. If you make them pay for it, then suddenly it's a whole different ball game. You've gone up a level. You're not doing the same old stuff, and you've got to be careful, and you've got to spar, and it looks a bit more like that.
Yeah.
And so you get these guys who neglect to set up the stage and say, look, you can't do this. You've got to be a bit more canny about it, a bit more wise, and otherwise I'll make you pay.
Yeah. Shoelaces run them. They are as well.
Damn it, the tricky Tai Chi bastard. That's in the secret Tai Chi form, you know. Flies and looks.